Welcome to Shiny New Clients, the marketing podcast that helps you attract shiny new clients to your business. We'll talk about social media, what makes people buy, how to go viral, and marketing psychology, all in 20 minutes or less. Whether you're a coach, a stylist, or a wedding planner, if you've got a service-based business to sell, this is the show you need to fill your calendar. I'm Jenna Warner, your new marketing coach, and this is Shiny New Clients. I used to sing musical theater comedy songs at late night cabarets and comedy shows. And one time I had a gig in a boutique little hotel lounge in Toronto at the Pantages Hotel. So it's really cute. There's a baby grand piano and most people are getting up and doing open mic comedy. And there were very few people here in the room. And I was there with my accompanist, Chris Sugiuchi, and we were waiting for my turn to get up. This isn't a job where you're being paid. It's really just an opportunity to get up in front of an audience. And there happened to be no audience this night. But the show must go on. We'll still take it as an opportunity to sing, to work the room, to work on those performance skills. And I was a little performer, so off we go. All these comedians are going up, and honestly, the room is silent. Like, there is no laughter. There is a smattering of applause. The only thing that you can hear are people's chairs being adjusted and their drinks hitting back down on their high top tables. Essentially, the entire audience is just made up of people who are waiting to go on stage until this voice starts piping up from a chair over by the bar. And I wish I could remember exactly what the voice is saying. I can't remember the zingers it was tossing out, but I do remember what the point they were trying to make was. This person at the bar was burning the audience. They were literally heckling the audience because she was so annoyed to see all of these comedians not supporting one another. Everyone knows how hard it is to get up on that stage and perform to an empty room. Everyone is going through the same thing. Everyone is here just to get their reps in at this point, and still they're not laughing at each other. They're not energetically supporting each other. They're not even pretending to hype each other up. And honestly, that's kind of how comedians are. There's a lot of kind of downer people in comedian circles. I worked in a comedy club for a long time and I know what they're like, and maybe they're not the most enthusiastic, lively bunch when they're not on stage. But what makes this story actually funny is my accompanist, Chris Sugiuchi, big musician, big pop culture fan. He whispers to me, "Oh my God, do you know who that is?" I'm like, "Who?" He's like, "That woman heckling the audience. That's Jenna Harding." And Jan is arguably, she's known for being outspoken and loud and funny. And online on social media, she's always sounding off about how she feels about things and she's not a quiet woman. And I respect that. I dearly respect that. And I love it. And I will never forget that night for the hilarious story that it ended up offering me and for the lesson about supporting one another. I think that in the comedy circles, it had become very normalized. It is normalized to this day to not laugh at each other. It's not your job to support the other person, but how much better would you feel if your night was actually spent laughing? If you actually did hype each other up, if you hyped someone up and they in turn hyped you up. And I feel like we need to bring that into business as well, because in business, it's very normalized to feel competitive against someone else, to hold your ideas close to your chest, to get mad when someone rips off your content. Okay, actually, I'm not going to argue that. It's annoying when someone rips off your content, but we get so protective and we get so competitive, and there's enough laughter to go around. There's enough work to go around. There's enough money to go around. And if you honestly are feeling that competitive, like somebody else has to fail for you to win, you're not going to like your job, and you're wrong. You're wrong. No one has to fail for you to win. Even if you are in the most micro niche possible, I promise you, with billions of people on this planet, with billions of English-speaking people on this planet even, there's enough work out there for everyone to thrive. And the grass is always greener. right? If you have a really micro niche and you're like, oh, well, it is super competitive, there's the same things happening on the other end of the spectrum where someone who has a very broad niche is complaining about that as well. Like neither of you are happy if you have that lack mentality and you don't believe that there's enough work out there for you. There's a million social media managers on the planet, but there's also billions of businesses that need social media. So what do I care? And it's a constant journey, and it takes a lot of self-talk to get to where you want to go with this sort of mindset. Sometimes the social media manager will join MMM, and I still feel that moment of that lack mentality of like, but I'm teaching someone else who does what I do, my secrets. And then I'm like, hey, voice, get out of here. They're in Arkansas. Who cares? There's enough clients for all of us. Like, they're literally not my competition because, there's no such thing. Especially since you're a service provider, right? That's why you're here. Most of you are. Most of you listening are service providers, which means people are working with you because of your personality, not just because of what you offer. Because they like the way that you say something. They like the way that you teach something. They like the unique way that you do your job that's unlike anything that anybody else can offer. By the way, bring that you onto social media. That's your industry advantage. All right, just a quickie from me tonight, guys. If you see Jenna Harding, tell her that I said hi. God, that was like over 10 years ago. I bet that was like 12. Oh, that was a while ago. So she wouldn't remember, but I'll never forget.